It's day 3 of the strike by 3 teacher unions across the country. Now, JoyNews is learning that the National Labour Commission has secured an Accra High Court order directing the striking teachers to return to the classroom. We'll be telling you the story of how pupils are spending their time in the absence of teachers in the classroom. Let's start from the Ashanti region, where Ohim Interior has been interacting with some of the students in Ejiso who seem to be spending the time swimming and fishing in the Afiesu stream.
Teachers are going to strike, so we are coming here to come and catch fish and sell to get money. That is why we have not catch anything.
Really?
Yes. Advantage of the teachers to come and fish here. That is why we are here. We don't know.
You don't know when you go back to the class?
Yes.
So will you be here tomorrow?
No. I will go somewhere.
Ivy Setsoji has also been interacting with some students. We'll bring you Ivy Setsoji's interaction with the students. Let's get on the phone lines and speak to Ohim Interior. Hello, Ohim. Hello, Ohime. If you do hear me, tell us about your interaction with these students. These young people that you met today. They're telling you that they're taking advantage of the absence of the teachers to do their own fishing and then go and sell. A bit more of that interaction, Ohime.
Yes, Gifty. These are children aged between 8 and 12. I met them at the just so specifically on the banks of Afiesu stream, where they were busily fishing with the support or with the help of hook and string they have attached. And they were numbering about 15. Later on, some of their colleagues came to join them. When I interacted with them, they told me they were from the Ejiso Presby Basic School. Some were also from the Ejiso Model School. There were others who have come all the way from Ejiso Besiansi MA Basic School to also fish in the stream. And they tell me because their schools were locked up this morning, they decided to take advantage of that situation to fish in the stream. And when they, with the hope that they will sell their catch on the market and get money to spend for themselves. And they told me they are not too sure when school reopen. For now, they want to see, and from tomorrow, for instance, they want to move to another location and continue the fishing. This is not the only particular sport where I saw or met people loitering about in the community. My monitoring trip today started from the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly or area, where at the railway. So I met a couple of students who were around and they were playing whilst their classroom blocks were locked. And they told me they have been asked to go home. Yesterday they were in school, and today too they were here, and there were no teachers to teach them. And so they were playing around. And in the Ejiso municipality and communities like Ejiso and Ejiso Besiansi, the stories were the same. Students or pupils were still playing around in the absence of their teachers. In the Jabi municipality, before the Jabi municipality, I was at Bonuri and then Bra, and then also at Bom, where these students I met were still loitering around. And the sad story is that most of them were playing or engaged in activities that could be described as dangerous, especially with these kids who were fishing, and some of them were also swimming in the stream. They were doing all these activities without the support or the care of adults.
And Ohime, you interacted with them trying to find out whether this is their usual daily routine or they're doing this because of the strike, because there's nothing to do in school.
Yes, they tell me this is something unusual of them. They are taking advantage of the absence of their teachers or closure of their schools to fish. So this is more or less alternative activity for the pupils because they tell me if school were in session, there's no way they would have come to the riverside to swim and let alone fish. Some have, managed with catch, and they were happy that with that catch that they had, they could go to the market and sell to make money. So this is an unusual activity for the kids. That is their words. They were there because those teachers were to teach them, so they were taking advantage of that situation.
Thank you very much, Ohim Interior, there joining us from the Ashanti region, where, as you saw, some of the kids have actually, descended into the pond while some of them fish. Let's go to the northern, the Volta region, like I said, where Ivy Setsoji has also been having her own interaction with some of the affected pupils.
The strike is having disadvantages over the students. When students come to school, the teachers are not able to teach them and they have to go. But here, like in the case, the syllabus is more than this. They have to teach the students before the end of the lesson. That in this way somehow better because the teachers usually can see their benefits, the effects of them. Also, but in other schools, when you go there, they don't usually go. The teachers can go and students have to go back, and it's making the education system better.
So that in every other school, the teachers are not coming to school. But in our school, the teachers are there. We are teaching us, but we are doing the examination. But in any other school, we are not doing the examination. But this school, the teachers are trying to organize academically because the syllabus given to our teachers.
Ivy Setsoji is on the line. Sincere apologies for that sound there. Ivy.
Hello, Gifted.
I hear some of the students tell us, raise concerns about their inability to finish the syllabus and how they're going to write the exams. Tell us more of your interaction with them today.
Yes, so at the Anyako Awamefia Senior High School earlier, students were standing in the assembly hall where they were inaugurating the new board of directors. And now, when we interviewed them, they told us that the strike is affecting them because they couldn't finish their syllabus and they are writing examination. And especially the final years is greatly affecting them. They want government to do something about the issue concerning their teachers so that they can go back to the classroom. So at that time, seeing students on campus was because of the inauguration of the board members. Apart from that, the students would have stayed at home doing nothing. Earlier on, we also saw students, especially the basic school, some of them dancing by the road during school hours because they were not in school. They also say it's affecting them, but some of them were happy to have some small holiday before the main holiday. So in Akachi South, Keta Municipality, Anglo Guard District, and some other districts in the southern part of the region, Volta region especially, the strike action is greatly affecting the students, even the teachers who said they sit down without doing anything. They wish that government does something about the issue early enough so that they can get back to the school.
And we'll be talking to the NLC, which we understand has secured some directive for the teachers to go back to the classroom. But before I let you go, Ivy, yesterday we dealt with some, specific scenarios from the Ashanti region and here in the Greater Accra region. When you enter any of these schools, what do you see? Are the teachers there but not teaching, or are the teachers not there at all?
Okay, so some of the schools, like the Anyako Angoa Womefia school, the teachers are there, but most of them are not teaching. Some of the schools too, you see just a few of them who are not doing anything at all. They just come, sign, and then go back to their various homes, leaving the students stranded. So some of the schools, yes, they go to the school but do nothing. A few of them are taking the final year students for their examination.
Right, Ivy, thank you very much for that update. Ivy Setsoji there will tell you what the situation is in the northeast region as and when we have Elias Sutanko on the line. But let's go now quickly and talk to Ofuswa Samoa, who is with the National Labour Commission. Mr. Samoa, thanks for your time this afternoon. Mr. Samoa, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time. We understand that the NLC has just secured a directive from the Accra High Court. Do tell us what it is.
Yes, yesterday the commission sat and declared the strike of the teachers as illegal. We invited them, they didn't come. So we went to court today for an order, an ex-party order against them to call off the strike as illegal, and the court has granted it. The court was presided over by Justice Akins of the Labour Court.
If you could speak up a bit for me, sir.
I'm saying that yesterday the commission sat on the case, and the commission declared the strike of the teachers as illegal because it did not conform with the law. So we proceeded to court, and today the case was heard in the High Court, Labour Court Division, Court 2, presided over by Justice Akins, and has granted the order that the strike is illegal and therefore it must be called off.
Okay.
So
did you
say
you interacted with you invited the teachers yesterday, but they failed to show up?
Yes, we invited them. They failed to show up. Just a few hours before the time, they brought a letter that all the executives of the three unions, NAT, NAGRAT, and Coalition, were out of Accra to attend an equally important meeting. So, but they still went ahead, tested their actions against the law, listened to the other party, and the commission concluded that the strike was illegal. It did not conform with the law. So we proceeded to court, the High Court, and this afternoon, the court granted the application of the commission.
Okay, so they did give you reasons why they were unable to show up for your meeting, just to be clear.
Yes, they said they were out of Accra to attend an equally important meeting.
Okay. Okay.
That is what the letter read.
So now you have secured this
High Court order.
High Court directive that is asking the teachers to essentially go back. But on what basis did they call this particular action by the teachers illegal?
Yes, it's illegal. The strike is illegal. That's why they have been directed to call off the strike, rescind their decision, and get back to the class.
Yeah, I just want you to help our viewers with the basis upon which the courts made that decision.
The basis were that the law prescribes that where negotiations are broken down and voluntary arbitration is not successful, any party wanting to resort to a strike must give written notice to the other party and to the commission as well. You have to give us notice of not less than 7 days before you can proceed on strike. But in this case, the teachers did not give notice either to the GES, the ministry who are their employers, nor the National Labour Commission. Hello?
Okay.
Yes.
So the Constitution prescribes that there should be a negotiation and then there should be a written intent to intent or notes to the commission for 7 days, which the teachers did not do.
They must write to the National Labour Commission as well as their colleagues, the negotiating partner, before they can proceed on strike.
Okay, but in this case, the court has established that those things were not done.
None of them was done, neither to the commission nor the employer.
Okay. Now that the NLC has secured this directive from the court, what is going to be the next move, sir?
The next thing is for them to comply. If they have anything against it, they can apply to the Court of Appeal. But until then, they are supposed to comply. The National Labour Commission is supposed to repeat the application on notice in 10 days' time. This order stands for 10 days. And within 10 days, we must go and reapply on notice because this was expert.
So if I hear you correct and I understand you clearly, sir, in 10 days, the teachers essentially have 10 days to return to the classroom.
They must return to the classroom immediately.
Immediately.
But this order will start for 10 days. After 10 days, they will have to meet us in court if they still want to challenge it.
Okay, so they can't come to court to challenge this decision within the next 10 days.
That is so.
But they are required to return to the classroom immediately.
But they are to return immediately.
They are to return immediately. Have you been in touch with the teacher unions yourself, sir?
Yes, we have been in touch with them. I just spoke to their PRO, I think, on Meet FM.
And what does he say?
So he said they were going to refer it to their lawyers, but in the meantime, once the court has ordered, they have no option than to comply.
So essentially, the PRO agrees with you on the phone that they are going to
Certainly, the court has made an order. So whether you agree or not, you have to comply until the ruling or order is set aside. You have no option. Once the High Court has made the order, you have to comply until it's set aside.
Yeah, I just wanted to be clear that this is the conversation you had with the PRO, and in that conversation...
On Meet FM, he was called on one line and I was called on one line.
On the other line. Very well. Yeah. Very well said. Well, how does the NLC intend to resolve this matter going forward, beyond the court's order?
Well, the resolution of the case lies in the payment of the allowances, which the GES, their employers, say they are doing. That is why they had the opportunity to appear before the commission to speak to it as to whether what the GES is saying is true or not. But in any case, it wasn't for the NLC to go into the merits of the case at the time. What we were testing was whether their action was in compliance and in conformity with the law, because they have declared a strike. And when you declare a strike, there are procedures for doing that, which you have to follow. So that is what was before the NLC, as to whether they followed the law, whether the actions were in conformity with the law or not. So we were faced with the legality or otherwise of the strike.
Okay, so essentially, again, the NLC is done. NLC has done its part in this case.
We have done our part that they have to get back to the classroom. If they have issues with the GES in relation to the payment of the arrears, legacy arrears, or any other thing, they have to come to the commission.
Should the teachers decide they're not going back to court? I mean, they're not going back to the classroom.
If the teachers decide not to go to court, the leaders will be held in contempt. The leaders declared the strike for which their members went off the classroom. So it is for them to put them back. So the leaders must announce, just as they announced the strike, that the strike has been called off, and therefore they are to resume work. If they fail to do that, they will be in contempt of court, and they should be heading towards prison, or as the court may direct, to purge their contempt.
Well, Mr. Sama,
if they continue with the strike, they risk losing their salaries, because where a strike is illegal, you will not be paid for engaging in an illegality. And ultimately, you may have your appointment terminated.
So the teachers risk losing their salary if
without lawful authority.
Yeah, please say that again. Go ahead, sir.
I'm saying that now the court has ordered to go back to the classroom. It is for you, the unions who declared the strike, to call off the strike so that their members can resume. If they fail to do that, that is to respect the court decision, they will be in contempt of court. And when you are in contempt of court, that is criminal. So they could be made to purge their contempt, either by going to prison, paying some, or whatever the court may order. In any case, where the strike continues, once it has been declared illegal, their employers will not pay them for engaging in an illegality. Right? So, and if it continues, they could have their appointments terminated, because they will be absent from work without lawful authority, especially when the strike has been declared illegal.
And with this posture, would you not say that this posture, government, we understand, has been holding some, unofficial meetings with these teacher unions to try and resolve the matter?
Well, it is not for the Labour Commission to delve into what is unofficial. Like you have said, if there's an unofficial meeting going on, it is not for the National Labour Commission. Ours is that we are a quasi-judicial body to deal with labor disputes. This dispute has come up. We have tested it against the law. We have given our ruling that it did not conform with the law. It is illegal. We have gone to court to seek an order to enforce the directive and the decision of the National Labour Commission. And we have ended it. The rest is for them to comply. If they fail to comply, it is for the court to deal with them for being in contempt. It is for their employers to withhold their salary or terminate their appointment for engaging in an illegality. These are the options available to the court and them. And they also have the option to appeal against the decision.
They also have the option to appeal against this directive. Do you have any final words to share, sir, Mr.
My final word is to appeal to the teachers. They are brothers, they are wives, they are relatives. So certainly we will not want them to, work on an empty stomach. And I know that the government is working on it, as we were told by the Director General of the scheme. Just a little patience, because they have detected some anomalies. Some people have been overpaid, some have been underpaid, some who are not entitled at all have been paid, and they themselves have come to confess that when the legacy arrears were accruing, they were not in the employment of GES. So it tells you that if the flat payment goes on, the government is going to lose revenue, just as some people may also be losing their money. And from what they said, about 80% of the people have been paid already, and payment is still ongoing. So just a little patience. And the National Labour Commission yesterday also directed the Director General of Education Service to expedite work for people to get their payment.
Mr. Samoa, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Mr. Fosu Samoa, there, he's Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission. Well, you've just heard it here that the teachers have been directed, the striking teachers of the 3 teacher unions have been directed to return to the classroom immediately, failure of which they may be cited for contempt. And as you hear Mr. Ofosu say there, they may have, it comes with any sort of punishment from the court, including a jail term. They also have the right to appeal within 10 days, but they have to return to the classroom immediately. We'll try and get the teachers and get their response to that. But Mr. Fosu also says that they have interacted, he has interacted with their PRO, who says they are referring the matter to their lawyers. This is the Pulse with me, Gifty, and appeal.